سبيل الدموع سبيل مريح هدايا.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. You already know who it is. It's your girl Sala in the building, you feel me? So today what I have for you guys is a talks video. Well, kind of like a story time as well. I'm gonna call it a story time because I'm gonna be telling you guys basically my hijab story and how I went from this to this, actually, or I might insert a picture here, so yeah. So before we get started with the video, I'm gonna need you guys to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on your post notifications so you can be notified whenever I upload a new video. Also, follow me around on all my social medias. I'm gonna leave them all down in the description box below, and I'm gonna also leave them down in on the screen, like right down there. But yeah, without further ado, we're just gonna get started with the video. Grab your popcorns, chill, and just listen to the story. So where do I start? I'm gonna start from like my childhood and then I'm gonna work my way up. So basically I started wearing the hijab like when I was like around 3 years old, or probably 2, because my mom, she started making me wear like the hijab at a very young age. So I started wearing the hijab, I'm gonna say around 3, and then I went to school with my hijab, and I actually didn't start getting I didn't get bullied about my hijab until like I reached like the 3rd grade. And there was times where like it was this one bully in the school, she lives in my building now and like we're friends now, but like before I really did not like her. Like she would always pull off my hijab in front of the whole class, and then like everybody would just laugh. And me, I was a sensitive person back then, so I would used to cry. Sometimes I would just like bawl out. Like I would cry for a straight hour because I just felt so hurt. But she continued doing that since like 3rd grade, and in 4th grade she did it like once, but that's a different story time for another day. But anyways, I started wearing the hijab at a young age, and then we're gonna fast forward until high school. So freshman year of high school, I was wearing my hijab, but while I was wearing my hijab, I used to wear like tight like pants or whatever, and like tight shirts. Like I wasn't really like wearing my abayas that I wear now when I was a freshman. So yeah, and my father, he didn't like that about me. Like not that he didn't like me, but he didn't like the fact that I wore a hijab, but then I went outside with tight clothes, so I was basically like half naked in his eyes. So sophomore year, he tried to pressure me into wearing like a jilbab to school and like abayas to school, and then like my long hijabs to school, whatever. But me, I was a stubborn person. Like I was really stubborn. So I would be like, oh, I'm gonna wear it, but I never really listened to him. So it was around my junior year of high school when I actually started like getting into wearing my abayas, because it was this one thing that happened, and I guess this was like the turning point of my life. Because short story time, so I came from school, but I was wearing ripped jeans, and if you're African or probably Muslim altogether, your parents hate when you wear ripped jeans. Like I knew that I was not supposed to wear ripped jeans, but I wore it for the sake of my friends, which I know isn't good, but I was young and I was dumb. So I wore ripped jeans, and I was walking outside, and I think I saw my father, and like I was like, that's my dad. And then like once he turned around, I tried to hide. I was like, I hope he do not see me, because if he see me in these jeans, it's clipped. Like my life is done. And mind you, I had on like a long, well, it wasn't even like a long sleeve shirt. It was like the shirts that stopped right here, but it was like kind of long sleeve, and it was mad tight. And then I had my hijab, and then the bun, he hated the bun the most. Like he didn't like the clothes, but the bun that I used to do, he used to hate that. Like I used to take like 3 scarves and just wrap it on my head, and then my final 4th scarf, I would use it to like wrap as a hijab. So back to the story. Anyways, I saw my father, and I tried to hide behind the cars or whatever, and me, I'm blind, so I thought he left. I turn around, and this guy is like standing right behind me. like on some shit. Like he was standing behind me. I'm like, damn, like my heart was beating so freaking fast. And I was with my friends, so he pulled me to the side because my dad was never the type to like embarrass me in front of my friends or whatever. But he pulled me to the side. He was just yelling at me. He was like, why are you wearing these pants? Didn't I tell you to stop wearing these pants? When you don't listen to me, this, that, and the third. And he was just chatting, like he was saying all this stuff, and I'm just standing there like my friends probably laughing at me right now, like, but at the same time I kind of felt bad because he kept reminding me before, like, oh, like if you're gonna wear a hijab, don't go outside half naked, because you're basically like, what's the word? Like you're basically contradicting yourself in a way. But yeah, he finished talking or whatever, and he tried to tell me to go home. Like he was like, go home, don't even bother going with your friends. I was like, okay. So I did a whole 360 around the block and met my friends on the other side, so I could make it seem like I was going home, but I was actually not going home. But yeah, so I went with my friends or whatever. They was like, oh, what your dad was saying? I was like, he was just talking about how next time not to wear jeans or whatever, and blah blah blah. So that's when I got home, and he was sitting. Like, I was scared to go home that day. I'm not even going to front, because I already knew when I go home, I'm going to be in his room listening to an hour's speech. So I went home or whatever. Thank God he didn't give me a speech that day, but I low-key felt bad. So I woke up the next day, and that's when I started wearing, like, my two-piece jilbabs. I'm going to put a picture, like, on the side. But wearing my two-piece jilbabs, and this was around, like, I'll probably say, like, probably March of 2018. But yeah, so that's when I started wearing my jilbabs. And yeah, and before I actually started wearing my jilbabs, my dad, he kind of gave me like this hour to 2 hour speech in his room, and he was just talking about how he cares. Like, my dad, he was like a strict person, so sometimes I felt like he didn't love me in a way, but, or like he hated me in a way. But now that I look back at it, I understand why he was so like strict. And I thank God that I actually grew up with a strict father, because I got a feeling like if my dad was not strict, God knows I probably wouldn't even be a hijabi at a point. Get what I'm saying? So he gave me like this 2 hour speech, and he was just talking about how I'm a woman and I'm supposed to respect myself and all this other father talk and stuff. So that was that. So we're gonna move on to how I started wearing my niqab and why. So basically, it was one night I was sleeping, and it was around like 2 o'clock, like 2:30, almost 3. And I was sleeping, and I woke up out of my sleep. Like, I couldn't sleep. Well, I was sleeping, but like at the same time, it was like I was not really sleeping. So basically, it was nighttime. It was around like 2 a.m., about to be 3 o'clock a.m. And I was sleeping, and like while I was sleeping, like I just woke up. Like something was telling me inside to wake up. So I woke up, and I'm sitting on my bed, and while I'm sitting on my bed, like, I'm just thinking about a lot of stuff. Like, I'm thinking about death. I'm thinking about the day of judgment. I'm thinking about the grave. I'm just thinking about everything. Like, and like, I'm that type of person, like, everything hits me at night, so I think about everything when it's nighttime. So I usually, like, I would sit up on my bed, or like I would just lay down, and I would look up at the ceiling, and then like I just be thinking about like how this world was created, and like all these other stuff, like how life would have been if like Shaitan would have like, well, if Adam and Eve would have listened to God and not ate the forbidden fruit or whatever. And I just be thinking about mad stuff. Like, I can't be the only one that thinks about this stuff. But yeah, and I was just sitting on my bed, and I was just thinking about like death and like my grave and the day of judgment and all this other stuff. And something told me to get up and pray. So I woke up, I went to go take wudu in the bathroom. I came back, and I prayed my 2 rakas, and then I was just sitting there, and I was just praying to God for my own personal reasons. I was praying to God, making dua and stuff. And like something inside of me, like something just told me, oh, you should start wearing the niqab. So I was just thinking it through, and I was just like, I'm gonna start wearing the niqab. I was like, that's it. I'm gonna just start wearing it. Like, I ain't question it. I ain't do nothing. I was like, when I wake up tomorrow, I'm gonna start wearing my niqab. And ever since then, I started wearing my niqab. I never took it off. And yeah, that was basically the story of how I started like wearing my niqab. And it's like amazing to me, because like I woke up at 2 o'clock a.m. I'm thinking about death and stuff, and the next thing you know, I'm wearing a niqab. Like, like I was confused at first, but like to me it's a blessing because Allah guides who He wants to guide. So that was a plus for me. So yeah, that's how I started wearing my niqab, and so far so good. Like it's been 2 months. 2 months and some weeks, and so far so good. I like it. I really like it. Like when I first wore it, like the day after I woke up, like I went outside and then like everybody was staring at me, but it was like in a comforting way. Like I felt comfort, and like everybody was just so nice to me. Like I would go on the train and they would see me and they would be like, oh, you want to sit? But usually when I go to the train station, ain't nobody want to offer me a seat. But now that I have my niqab on, people like offering me seats and stuff like that. The little things matter to me. So yeah, and that's basically how I started wearing my niqab. And I don't think I'm gonna take it off anytime soon. Like I really don't think I'm ever gonna take it off, like ever. But yeah, that's the story of how I started wearing my niqab and kind of like my hijab journey or whatever. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to turn on your post notifications so you could be notified whenever I upload a new video. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Bye, pieces, deuces.
سبيل الدموع سبيل مريح تنهدى يا صاحي كي